To motivate a change in our existing behavior, we need to apply the same methods as martial artists use at combat or engineers and scientists use at various fields. We need to exploit the governing principles for our own benefits. Except in our case, we will do this in the area of psychology. To start, we need to add a critical component to the mix, the word perceived. You may think that this makes no difference to the equation, but I have to tell you that this is the leverage that we will be using. It is used, after all, on all of us by our parents, government, religion, friends, media, work, sales clerk in a store, a sign on a billboard, and on and on. Everything aims to influence us through various methods of persuasion to achieve either a decision or a behavior, except that there you are rarely consciously aware of it. In our case, you will be fully aware of it, but it will still work, don't worry. One more note before I get very specific how exactly to do this. The perceived negatives have approximately double the strength of the positives due to the general risk averse of humans. So if we want to be motivated to make a change in our lives, we must change the perception of one or better yet both sides of the scale in order to tip it. Let us get very specific on a possible example. A possible behavior is that one binges on a phone in a bedroom, playing video games. One does this because they perceive many and strong benefits such as satisfaction, praise, rewards, feedback, growth, sounds, animation, playing with friends, winning, relaxation, and on and on. On the other hand, they perceive almost no cost, only some swipes and clicks and boom, they have a full dopamine release. No wonder one would continue such a behavior because it's a pretty good bargain, right? Well, you bet. Let's look at how the same activity might be perceived by someone else. Thinking of all the work needed to download, perhaps even pay, and then learn this game, risking the gaming addiction, losing so much time, being seen as a child, throwing away your life and your time, and so on. And then on the positive side, only perceives the benefits of your phone making some noises. Such person perceives a lot more and significant negatives and only a handful of positives. What would be the result? Well, for this person, it would also be obvious to never conduct such a behavior. You may ask me, so which person was right? Well, this is for the philosophers to figure out because what we are ultimately interested in is how to change your behavior, to get from doing or not doing something to the other side, or how to tip the scale. I hope you're following me so far. So how do we do this? For the purposes of finding personal motivation to drive changes in the area of sleep, it will be sufficient if you apply the steps presented in the action point perceptual pivot. Go ahead, download, and do this exercise now. Once you've completed it, continue with the next lesson. Here's a free gift to you. Feel free to use the method for any other area of your life where you are struggling with creating the motivation that is needed for the change that you require.